My daughter destroyed her brother's science project the night before the fair, and I hugged her for an hour. I heard the crash from downstairs at 11 p.m. and ran up to find my daughter Lily standing in the garage holding a baseball bat. My son's volcano project was smashed to pieces on the floor, plaster and paint everywhere. 3 months of work destroyed. My son Isaac came running in and just stood there staring at the wreckage with his mouth open. He had spent every weekend since September building this project with help from his friend Trevor, who was in the advanced science program at school. Isaac was supposed to present it at the regional fair in the morning, where colleges would be scouting for scholarship candidates. Lily dropped the bat and her hands were shaking. Isaac looked at her with tears already forming and asked why she would do this to him. I expected her to run or make excuses, but she just said 3 words. I saved you. Isaac had been struggling in science all year, and Trevor had offered to help him with research and calculations for the volcano project. Trevor was the top student in their grade, and Isaac felt lucky to have his help. Every weekend, Trevor would come over with new data and formulas, and they would work together in the garage. I thought it was great that Isaac had found such a supportive friend. The project was incredible, with detailed chemical analysis and mathematical models that seemed way beyond high school level. Isaac kept saying Trevor was a genius and was helping him understand concepts he had never grasped before. I was proud watching my son finally succeed in his hardest subject. The judges had already seen preliminary photos and called to say Isaac was a top contender for the grand prize, which came with a $15,000 scholarship. Lily had been acting strange for the past week. She kept asking Isaac questions about his project and where he got his research. She spent hours on her laptop in her room with the door closed. When I asked what she was working on, she said it was just homework, but her voice sounded wrong. The night before the fair, I saw her printing something and she quickly closed her laptop when I walked in. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said she needed to talk to Isaac before morning. I told her it could wait because Isaac needed to rest for his big day. She shook her head and said it could not wait, but I told her to let her brother sleep. That's when she went to the garage with the bat. After she said she saved him, Lily pulled folded papers from her pocket. Her hands were still shaking as she handed them to Isaac. I found Trevor's online posts. He's been bragging to people at his old school about his plan. This isn't your project. This is his project from 2 years ago when he was at Westfield Academy. He won first place with this exact volcano model and these exact calculations. Isaac took the papers and his face went completely white. The printouts showed forum posts where Trevor described how he was reusing his award-winning project by letting a stupid kid present it so he could watch him get caught for plagiarism and expelled. Trevor had written that watching someone else take the fall would be hilarious, and he was documenting everything to show his friends. There were screenshots of text messages where Trevor told other students he was setting up the perfect academic dishonesty trap. I grabbed the papers and felt my stomach drop. The plagiarism detection at the regional fair was intense. They had access to all previous submissions from every school in the state. If Isaac had presented this project in the morning, the judges would have immediately flagged it as stolen work. He would have been disqualified, reported to the school board, and expelled for academic dishonesty. His college applications would have been destroyed. Lily had spent all week investigating because something felt wrong about Trevor's sudden helpfulness. She had tracked down his old school submissions and forum posts and found the entire scheme. She printed everything as evidence but knew there was no way to convince Isaac to withdraw from the fair in time. So she destroyed the project to force him to stay home and avoid the trap. Isaac dropped the papers and sat down on the floor crying because he realized what would have happened. I pulled Lily into my arms and held her while she sobbed into my shoulder. Isaac crawled over and wrapped his arms around both of us. "You saved my entire future," he whispered.